of the things that Pirate Empire definitely has been lacking is an enemy AI. For of course, at the current point in time, they can only stand still. So a few months ago, I began working on some kind of enemy AI. And very quickly realized that the simple act of just getting them to align correctly actually was fairly difficult. And I got kind of stuck. At the same time, my semester began. And this was the semester where I had to do my bachelor project. Meaning, in short, I had a lot of work to do. And the thing is that when you're creating big projects like this one, no matter how motivated you are very likely at least to at some point start to feel exhausted by it. Or start to feel like it feels more like work than a hobby or enjoyment. Often that is in the end. A good example of this can be seen by Yahtzee Croshaw, in which he described it like this hill. That whenever you begin a new project, your motivation in the beginning is very, very high because you begin a new thing and it starts to work and stuff. And then the challenges come and the things drag out and your motivation starts to fall off and begin rising again at the end. But it will never reach the same high as it did in the beginning. I will leave a link in the video description for this video as well. So what I'm trying to say is that even though this project has been really fun, developing it at the current point in time, and at that point in time, used a lot of energy. And making my bachelor thesis and taking my courses used a lot of energy as well. And I could simply not down prioritize my schoolwork compared to this project. So I took a break from it to focus on school. And the thing is that I do not study game design, I study robotics. So a lot of the systems that I have made were not made ideally, and I'm not really exposed to the most ideal way of doing them, and I only really use them whenever I create my own projects. So, for example, I created an inventory system and I created a dialogue system. And for those, I used a guide, and I've never made them before this project. And coming back to it, I cannot really recognize it, and I have a really difficult time understanding how to make all of it work together again, since it's been so long, and I'm not really comfortable with the code as it currently is. One interesting thing actually is that for my bachelor thesis I actually had to work with reinforcement learning, a specific type of AI. However, video game AI and artificial intelligence as reinforcement learning and stuff like that is not really it's not really the same. It can in some cases be used, and it might be in this situation, but when you use reinforcement learning or anything like that to create an AI, it will attempt to learn the most optimal behavior. Whereas with a video game AI, you for the most part wanted to maybe not do the ideal behavior, but a specific behavior, sort of maybe hide behind cover or stuff like that. Something that makes it interesting to do combat or anything against. If you'd like to know more about the subject, I have 2 videos you can watch. They are really good. I can highly recommend. And besides all of that, a lot of things have actually changed in my life since beginning this project. And a lot of it is extremely interesting, and I might cover it in future episodes. It really depends on how everything turns out. But I had to reevaluate this channel I have. Because the simple matter of fact is that it's a very small channel, and that I do not earn any money from it or anything like that. I do it as a hobby because I think it's fun. I really like being creative and getting things out there. And my idea behind this project in the beginning was to try and see if I can upload more regularly and see what that would do. And the simple matter of fact is that I don't really feel like I can justify it to myself to keep pushing on something if I do not feel completely motivated by it. Or if I feel like it causes more stress than relief when developing this. What I'm trying to say is that I am probably going to put a bit of a break on the project. Not necessarily stopping it completely, but I feel like I do need to have some more experience and need to become more comfortable with a lot of these systems before I can continue making them in a way that does not causing more stress than it's worth, essentially. In short, I want to finish it, but I don't want to feel obligated to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I do know that there is a few of you watching who might be subscribed to the channel and did it because you wanted to see this project fulfilled. And in case you are one of these people, I am truly sorry for this. I really hope that my reasoning makes sense. And do be aware that I definitely have learned from this in the way that if I ever want to do any big projects in the future, I definitely will wait longer before I announce it. Before I'm completely sure that I can complete it. I have been really struggling figuring out how to deal with this because, let's be honest, only a fairly small amount of people have actually watched the videos. So I was not sure if a lot of people even cared. But there might be a few, so I felt like I had to. Now, one of the questions I had to ask myself is that, should I delete the previous videos and maybe start this over? And I don't think I'm going to do that because I feel like some of the subjects covered in those videos are actually fairly interesting and might be useful in other scenarios, so I'm going to let them stay up for now, I think. But yeah, that was everything I had to cover for this project, for this video at least. And I hope you understand, and maybe you found it interesting hearing about how someone in a position like mine, a developer or whatever you want to call me, deals with anything like this. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.